So here we are in November already, and I can't believe how quickly it's already November in 2024. I still remember me planning goals and then putting my to-do list, TBR list and all of that, and it's already November and I feel like I've really not achieved anything at all the things that I wanted. Of course there are a few achievements here and there, but the major goals that I wanted, I feel like I'm not even close to it. But when it comes to the reading challenge, I had a goal of 50 books, and so far I think I've finished about 45 or 46 books, and I'm pretty happy about that. So now let us quickly plan a November TBR. So I'm going to be doing this TBR jar method where we are going to be having a list of books. I'm going to be putting down a list of probably 20 to 30 books, and then after that we are going to pick about let us say, can we keep about 10 books for this month? I don't know if I'll be able to actually read 10 of them, but why don't we just try and do it? Okay, so let's start off with the video now. Hi everyone, I'm Archana here and welcome to my YouTube channel. So let us quickly pick up certain things from this jar, and towards the end, if one of my cats are awake, so probably I'll get them also to pick one for me from the jar. Okay. So I already have this form with me, the back side of the form is actually blank. I don't want to waste this paper because instead of just throwing it away, I feel like I can use the back side of the form. I'm not going to remember which is there on the back side, so it's not like I'm going to pick it accordingly. In fact, I'll be closing my eyes and picking it. So yeah, let's start off with writing. First, let us assess the books that we have in my list. Okay, let's see what all physical books we have, and I also have my Kindle with me here. There are a lot of books in my Kindle and there is so much to read actually. So okay, first let's explore the physical books and then we'll go about our Kindle stuff. Okay. So one thing is, in November, I definitely want to read How to Age Disgracefully, but let us see if the TBR jar actually allows me to do it, because ever since I saw this book, it's a 2024 release, and ever since I read the synopsis of this book, I've been really wanting to read this. So I'm going to add How to Age Disgracefully, and as a part of the TBR jar. Let's see if we pick it. We have to pick about 30 books now. So the first one is How to Age Disgracefully. And I also have The Warm Hands of Ghosts. So this is something that is again a 2024 release. I've done a series of that. I'm going to be releasing my next part of 2024 releases probably by next week, and of a couple of other books. Okay, so I also want to read The Warm Hands of Ghosts. This is like a war themed fantasy sort of a story. Okay, and let us see. So I want to keep a mix of genres, okay, because I love reading thrillers. I also want to read a little bit of romance. So right now you have this Nothing Like the Movies that has been released. So I've not read Better Than the Movies, so I want to read both Better Than the Movies and Nothing Like the Movies. And right now Daydream has also released. I've not read Icebreaker, but I've read Wildfire in that series. So if I'm picking Daydream, I want to read both Icebreaker and Daydream. Okay, so we are probably not going to add it to the list of 10, but however I'll I'll just put it as Daydream. I'll just put it as Nothing Like the Movies. So if I pick any of that, so it means I'll read the previous version of that book, the previous book also. Okay, so that is not going to be counted in the list of 10 books. That means I have to really stretch myself and read more, but it's okay, I'm okay with that. Here I have Anne of Green Gables. I haven't read this and it's a classic, so I definitely want to read this. But let's see all the other books in my list. Read Love on the Brain, A Wish for Us. I haven't read it, but probably let's keep that for next year. How to Live When You Could Be Dead. This is a memoir. I really want to read this memoir, so maybe let us take this. Okay, this is the book, and I also want to read this. So this is by Frederick Backman. My grandmother sends her regards and apologies. I've heard that his books are really good. I haven't read Anxious People or any of those books, but I'd really like to start with this because I've had a very close relationship with my grandmother, and I'd really like to find out what this book is about. Okay, so the next one I see is Wonder. I've already read Love Theoretically. I've read Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I'm yet to read the sequel to this book. And Wonder, we can probably put it on our list. Okay, so I'm going to be adding this as well. So Will Grayson and Coming Home to the Comfort Food, I feel like these should be my December reads. Okay, and One day in December, I read half of this book, but somehow I couldn't finish the other half. But let's keep that as well for December. The Love Hypothesis, I've read it already. Great and Precious Things, I think we should add it for this year, shouldn't we? Or will it be too much? I mean, we have to pick 30 books now, and out of which we are going to select only 10. So, okay, let's keep this as well. So, Jenny Corrigan's 500 Miles from You. This seems to be a cozy romance, so I'm going to keep it for December. And The Dog Sitter, again, I'm going to keep this as well for December, because I want to keep all these cozy, comfy reads to wind down for the year and start prepping for the next year. So I want to really have a relaxing December, though of course I'll probably be like a little held up with my job as well. So Days at the Morisaki Bookshop, I've already read it. The Cat Who Saved Books, I've read that too. Oh, The Lost Bookshop is something I so want to read. I bought it many months back, but now I see so many people reading it. I really want to read this. So let's add this one as well. So far in our physical books, we have these 5. Okay. The Murderous Type, this seems to be like a cozy mystery. So because there's a dog here, a really cute dog too. I'll keep this for December. Blue Sisters, there is no compromising with this, because remember last time I read only 3 pages of it, but then I felt like it's a book on grief and I didn't want to continue at that point in my life. But Blue Sisters is something I've promised one of my subscribers that I will definitely post a review of by the end of November. So this does not go as a part of the jar, because this one I'm definitely reading it. So this is a 100% read for November. The Goodbye Cat, I think, I think it's going to be a sad book. I'm not sure of that. But since I already have a book that is probably going to make me sad, I don't want to pick another book for the month that is going to make me sad. Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. I heard that also makes you sad. But do you think I should pick these? I'm not really sure. Okay, let's see the other books, okay? We also have a lot of things in our Kindle too. So in this list, I actually have to read For One More Day, Timekeeper, First Call from Heaven, and Have a Little Faith. But I've read The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, Tuesdays with Maury, and Palace of Illusion. So these 3 are read, but the others I have to read. So let's see the other books and then come back here. Let's go to my other shelf here. Here you have A Letter to the Luminous Deep. Remember I bought this from the Big Book Box. I posted a shots of it in case you haven't watched it. So this is how the book looks like. And yeah, this one probably I'll keep this as well for December. So let's keep this aside. Okay, now let's see what all do we have here. Charlene Harris, True Blood series I've read. Perry Mason I've read. I haven't read Digital Fortress, but maybe not this time. Lesser Evil, I've not read that too. I See You, I've not read it. I think I may want to read it. So let's add a thriller to the list. The Woman Who Lied, I read it this year. Peter James thing, I've not read it yet. Salem's Lot, I have to read it. Ruskin Bond's book, I have to read it. So since I'm a huge fan of Ruskin Bond, I think we are going to keep this book as well. Okay. The Burying Ground, Stolen Children, The Girl Before You. All 3 are thrillers and I so badly want to read it. So I don't know which one I should be picking. Or maybe I'll just take all 3 and then let's decide. Okay, here I know I have to read The Help. The others I've already read, but maybe I'll keep it for next year or probably in December. Moving on to my next shelf, I've already read The Mallory Towers. I've read Bimbo and Topsy. I've read Millie Johnson's I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day. I've not read My One True North. I have read The Queen of Wishful Thinking. So maybe I should take this one, My One True North. I haven't read a Millie Johnson book all year and I've literally been waiting to read it. So let's pick this. And let's also pick, so I've not read The Birds and the Bees. I've not read A Winter Flame. I started last year but I couldn't read it. I'm yet to read The White Wedding. I'm yet to read An Autumn Crush. I'm yet to read The Mother of Christmases, but that we'll keep it for December. And Sunshine on Wildflower Cottage, I've read that already. So let us probably pick this and let us pick The Birds and the Bees. Okay? Because obviously I haven't read it all year and I really need a dose of Millie Johnson now. Okay, so let's arrange all of these things, but before that, let's first count. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, there are 13 books already. Now we have to select about 17 books more. I forgot that I added these 2 books as well, so it's 15 physical books. Okay, so currently I have a lot of books in my Kindle. These are just the uncollected items that I haven't categorized yet. But in fantasy, I have 42 books. Horror, I have 15 books. Mythology, I have 8 books. Poems, I have 3 books. Those are like Emily Dickinson's poems. And fiction, I have 61. Self-help, I have 49. Memoirs, I have 7. Thrillers, I have 28. Romance, I have 46. Kids books, I have 2. And classics, I have 11. So let's find out, okay, which one to read now. Okay, so there are so many fantasy books as well. I think we should add the familiar to the list, evocation to the list, and sorry, I have not read the evocation. I don't know why it is showing like so much of percent. Okay, let's add evocation. It's definitely not 41%. I've not even started the book. Okay, my roommate is a vampire, a fragile enchantment, when the moon hatched. Okay, maybe we can add when the moon hatched. We can probably add a fragile enchantment as well. Oh, the house in the cerulean sea and its sequel, I should definitely add that as well. Okay, let's start writing it down, okay? Started writing when the moon hatched, the house in the cerulean sea, a fate inked in blood, the book of doors. Let's start writing more now. Okay, so before that, let us quickly pick out some books from Kindle. Okay, should we have any more fantasy books? Okay, so horror, I think I want to give a little bit of break for horror because like the whole of October was all about horror. So let's give a little break for that. Mythology, I'll be posting my video this Thursday. So since I read a lot of mythology as well, like in October, I don't want to like add that again. Self-help, not really. Let's look at fiction. What all do we have here? Okay, we have the Kamogawa food detectives, the Traveling Cats Chronicles, She and Her Cat, A Man Called Ove, The Authenticity Project, The Women, I've already read it. Lady Tan's Circle of Women, I actually wanted to read this as well, but maybe let's keep it for another time. Goodnight Irene, Violetta. The Nightingale is something I want to read, but I'm not sure yet. I also want to read The Yellow Face. I want to read Babel. Okay, I wanted to read The Housemaid's Secret and I think The Housemaid Returns, the second and third part of the book. So let me add that as well because I definitely want to read it. So as of now, let me just add The Housemaid's Secret. Once I read that, maybe I'll automatically just go to the third book because I can't directly like in case I pick the third book from the jar, there's no point in like directly reading the third book, right? So I'll write that as well. The Collected Regrets of Clover, I kind of want to read this actually. Maybe I'll add this as well. Okay, I'm also going to add Better Than the Movies, and so if I pick Better Than the Movies, I'll definitely read Nothing Like the Movies also. I was actually planning to make a vlog of that as well. I'm also going to be adding Daydream. So if I'm reading Daydream, I'll definitely read Icebreaker too, since Wildfire is already read. Okay, let's look for more. Okay, now let's go to my favorite genre, thrillers. I have about 28 thrillers here. Okay, I think I want to try The Couple Next Door. Let's add it to the list as well in case that gets picked up. Do you think I should add Fractured Tide or should I add The Woman in Cabin 10? Or Into the Water? The thing is, because Kindle is black and white, I really want to buy this colored Kindle now. What's it called? Kindle Color Soft. But because it's black and white, I really have to strain my eyes to see what the title is. The Light on the Water, that's another thriller I want to kind of read. Stephen King's Holly is also there, but should I pick it now? Okay, I want to add Wild Love to the list. Okay, so in case I add Wild Love, I think I have to read Wild Eyes and the next one that's releasing in Feb, I guess. So let's add Wild Love to the list. A novel love story, yes, definitely. I'm going to add that as well to the list. So by the same author, I think her name is Ashley Preston. Yeah, So the 7 Year Slip is also something I haven't read, but I've heard about it so much, so I'm adding that too. I also kind of want to read The Dead Romantics, but do you think I'm like probably favoring the author too much? I mean, I haven't even read her book, but okay, let's probably not add that. How to End a Love Story, I think I should add that. Okay, let's just pick 2 more books from the list, and with that, we'll actually have 30 books here. Let's add The Secret Keeper of Jaipur. This is by Alka Joshi. Okay, I'm also going to add Flowers for Algernon. I was actually writing it here, and I'm kind of almost done with writing when my cat decided that he needed the attention and he came and sat here right on the paper. So let's wait for a bit and then continue with the video. So while editing, I just realized that somehow I may have missed out on a few things, and there are just about 28 books here. So look at the screen. So these are the books that are finally shortlisted, and among these I'll be picking. Okay, so now that we have the TBR jar ready, there are about 30 chits in here, and let's shake it. Let's start picking it up. Okay, let's pick our first chit. This is my one true north. The very first chit that I picked is a Millie Johnson book, and here it is. I may not read it in the same order, but I'm so excited. It's like even the universe just understood that Millie Johnson is probably my most favorite author, or maybe in my top 3. But yeah, I really love her, and I'm so happy to read it. Okay, so now let's pick the next one in the list. The second book is How to Age Disgracefully. Oh my god, this is something I so wanted to read. So How to Age Disgracefully, I picked this, and I have the book right here. The second one is also a physical copy, and I'm so excited, super excited to read this as well. This is one thing I was really wishing I could actually read, so I'm pretty happy about this as well. So now let's pick the third one. Okay, the third one in the list would be The Lost Bookshop. Okay, I think I'm actually getting all the books I so badly wanted to read. The Lost Bookshop is right here. Okay, so the third one is The Lost Bookshop, and I'm so eager to read this as well. Okay, so let's check out the fourth one now. The fourth one would be How to Live When You Could Be Dead. So this is a memoir. So it kind of made me cry. I'd already started reading it back then, but I'd stopped because it kind of made me cry. But I really wanted to read this because it was also very inspirational. Okay, so the woman who has written this book, Deborah James, she was actually like diagnosed with cancer. So she wrote this book during her terminal stages of cancer, and by the time this book got published, she already passed away. So which is why I kind of always found it a little hard to read. Of course, I don't know the author, but still, of course, it affects you, right? Okay, so that is the next book in the list. I have that as well right here. Surprisingly, I'm getting only physical copies of the books. So let's see if we get any of the Kindle versions. The Couple Next Door. Yay, a thriller. I'm so happy to read this. Okay, The Couple Next Door. This is by Shari Lapina. So I have read 2 of her other books, Everyone Here Is Lying, and I also read What Have You Done. So What Have You Done is a 2024 release. The thing is, I felt like she has this way of narrating such that, it keeps you so hooked to the book. The plot, however, was okay-ish, but then the way she writes, right? I mean, you just cannot put down the book. It is that amazing. So, okay, I'm pretty excited to read this as well. That's a Kindle version. So let's start trying more. Blue Sisters, of course, like that is a part of the list. So I'm not counting it in the 10 because I'm 100% going to read Blue Sisters. I'll add this as well here. But yeah, let's see the other 5 now. There are 2 chips here. I feel like I'm making a milkshake out of it. A novel love story, yay, a romance, a 2024 romance. This is my first Ashley Preston or Poston. I'm sorry, I forgot. It's one of, I'm going to read her book for the first time. So, a novel love story, here it is. Okay. The Girl Before You, it's yet another physical book that I have. Okay. This also seemed like really interesting. This is a thriller and I just can't wait to read it. Okay, so this is about a woman called Alice. I always forget the names, so when I read the synopsis I was like, I was really interested in reading it. So she's doubting her husband of as to why he broke up with other people, but he also discovers that those people he broke up with are mysteriously dead. So yes, I'm excited to read this as well. 3 more to go. The Birds and the Bees, another Millie Johnson book. I'm so excited to read that as well. So this is the book. Now let's see what else do we have. I really want to read like a little bit of fantasy. I don't think I've picked a fantasy book so far other than The Lost Bookshop. I hope I pick a fantasy book. I also want to read My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologies. Let's hope we pick that. A Fate Inked in Blood, finally a fantasy. Okay, other than The Lost Bookshop, A Fate Inked in Blood was actually released this year. So I'm glad I'm picking this as well. How many have we picked now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we've already picked 9. So now it's the last one that I'm picking. Let's hope I get a really good book that, that just stays memorable for the rest of the year. Stolen Children. Okay, this is yet another thriller. Okay, here it is. I won't say that I'm too excited by all the choices, though I do want to read them. I felt like it's probably not something I would read by November, but of course I'm like really happy with my choices. Most of the choices I booked, it looks like, they're all like physical copies of the books. So let's hope I'm able to read so many. Okay, right now I have 10 plus Blue Sisters, so totally 11 in my TBR. I'm not really sure if November will hold that much of space for me, enough to read 11 books, but I'm going to try my best. So anyway, regardless of what I read or what I don't read, these 3 books, that is Blue Sisters, How to Age Disgracefully, personally something I've literally been dying to read, and The Lost Bookshop, these are definitely some things that I'm going to be reading, and The Couple Next Door. Okay. So, okay, with this we are done with the TBR jar picking. This is the first time I ever tried something like this and I really loved this exercise. So, thank you so much for watching. If you like my video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd be so grateful to you if you did that because I'm so close to hitting 1K now. And thank you so much. If you have any requests or recommendations that you'd like to share, please comment below and let me know. So, stay happy, stay blessed and stay kind. Bye.